All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. We have episode number 34 here. Wow, 34. Ooh. Sunday, July 9th, the Houston Rockets they kind of obliterated the Detroit Pistons. I know Detroit did come back there at the end of the second half, so let's get the score sheet. Houston technically only won by 12, but the whole game outside of like the very end was complete and utter domination. We're going to break it down. Jabari Smith Jr., just a lot of sauce packets, so get ready for that. We have Mr. Tari Eason doing a little bit of everything. We had Cam Whitmore, who showed plenty of flashes. We also have Joshua, Shade, and Thomas down below in the chat. These are three OGs who always pull up to the NBA show. Hope to see you guys there, man. Houston gets it going 2-0. I just want to say this real quick before we get into it. The Houston Rockets, I think, would definitely win or at least be close to Summer League if all of our starters, or not starters, but like today's starters were playing. I have a feeling that maybe not next game. I still think, you know what, I still think Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason, I still think they're both done for the final two games of Summer League, but we'll wait and see. Maybe it's just Jabari and Tari plays. I could also see that happening for sure. Throwing the Zinni there. Guys, once again, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. Let's Talk Rockets, episode number 34. We're up to let's get a live check. I want to say these live every episode just so we can feel it as a community. The numbers growing. We're at 43 total plays on the podcast, which is this, but in a podcast form. The link's always down below, Spotify, Apple, or just type in Let's Talk Rockets on Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. You guys know how that goes. But I appreciate it, man. 43 plays. It's actually like super exciting. I just got a pizza, so we are a little bit late here. I was going to live stream it, but I don't know, man. I like kind of just sitting with the thoughts as opposed to, live streaming. I also only have one TV here, and it would just be a little bit difficult. So, guys, we're doing record numbers here on Houston Rockets Daily. If we could, the high is, I think, like 76 likes. So let's try and shoot for 80 likes tonight. Get more Rocket fans in here. We do these every single day. It's more like 5 days a week, but yeah, you got it. We got a lot of OGs in here. Chris, what's up? To Chris Strange TV, Jalen Johnson, the Space Cowboy. Jabari went from being a bust to he will bust on your face from the three-point line as a Rocket fan. I love to see it. What's up, Papa Trill? How you doing? Jabari's too good for the Summer League. No, I got a pizza before I did this, and it just came a little late. It was really good. I ate the whole thing very quickly. So let's pull up this game recap. A lot to be excited about, man. I mean, Jabari right now would be, at least in the running for Summer League MVP. We also got a nice little bet here. But once again, I'm not quite sure how much we'll actually see Jabari because it's not even necessarily risking injuries. I guess it is. You don't want to risk injuries, but it's just like, all right, Jabari, you clearly are too good to be here. But we have Detroit here. Can you guys see this? We're on screen. We're on screen. I honestly didn't notice Azar Thompson for the first, maybe quarter. That's not a jab at him. I'm obviously watching more Rockets than Pistons players, but Jaden Ivey had a great game. Jalen Duren had a great game. James Wiseman had a solid game. These guys they're doing their thing down below in the paint. Jay Huff, he played 20 minutes in the first game. He only played 15 minutes tonight. He's not like the biggest, most physical body as is, but, that's getting into the more like nitpicking of, I feel like we gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. Let's get the statistic there. We gave up 13 offensive rebounds. We had 9 offensive rebounds. So that was just kind of something I felt. But yeah, I mean, Jabari and I think Jabari would get – I wouldn't be surprised if Tari plays the next game and then not the fourth game or whatever, and Jabari's done after 2. I don't really have much of an opinion on if he should or shouldn't. Tonight, though, coming off another 30-point game in this year's Summer League debut, all right, drops 30 plus in the game-winning three, and it was, or game-winning block, and then the game-winning three. So Jabari was coming in with confidence. Keep in mind, he only scored 4 points in the first half of that last game. Well, tonight he scored 15 points in the first quarter, and it wasn't just like he was, only scoring. He took 25 shots. Damn, Tari Eason took 25 shots too. Jabari took a lot of attempts, but he got 7 rebounds, he got 6 assists, he had a steal, he had a block, he had a couple of threes. Jabari and Tari's defense, there were a lot of possessions where you just saw it come together, and you just saw it. Like, there was one right away, right out of the gate, a couple minutes in, where Jabari like slaps down whoever had the ball, and then Tari comes in for the trap, and it was just like, damn, that could be a future potential duo right there. Nonetheless, like, Dillon Brooks and Jabari, Dillon Brooks and Tari, Dillon Brooks, Jabari, and Tari, like, we have really nice wing depth right now, like starting caliber players, young players, established players like Dillon Brooks. A lot to be excited about that wing position. But, man, Jabari did a lot of nice things on defense. I was really looking at his defensive switches, just, hopping onto smaller wings, how he can hold for himself. He's quick, he's agile, and he has that long potential, or he's long and lanky, and he has that defensive potential for stepping out to guards. Great game from Jabari, though. Just a really masterclass game. You kind of saw him and Tari getting into it a little bit, as not together, but like getting into the game, talking some shit, talking some trash, looking at the Pistons bench. Jabari was feeling himself. These guys were just feeling themselves tonight, and it was so cool to watch. Tari Eason right there with him, 48% from the field, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. It's crazy, man. I've been saying, and I really want to spread this propaganda train. I think Tari Eason's a star in this league. Or if he's not a clear-cut star, I think he'll at least be a borderline star. He's going to be an extremely valuable role player. Like, I view him almost in the same realm as, I think Aaron Gordon is a similar piece to what we're looking at with Tari Eason here. But, Tari does everything right. He had that phenomenal block. I wish I could play a clip of it. He had that phenomenal block on Jaden Ivey, like wraps around and grabs the ball and dribbles and finishes it off with a dunk. It was crazy. I don't even know how you can do that. I don't even know how he was able to grab that ball, block the ball. Tari Eason is a specimen, but this man's just always in the right place. He's always at the right time. He can knock down threes. He's getting a little bit more of a dribble. We're seeing a lot more this year of Jabari and Tari just holding the ball. You'll see a lot of possessions where Jabari's kind of bringing up the ball like a point guard here. We're seeing a lot of them holding the ball in transition, get the rebound and just run. Get the rebound, dish it out to, one of the two. And these guys are running in fast break. And Tari Eason and Jabari, honestly, like both of them, they're not summer league players, but as Jabari said, we won 22 games last season. Why would I be down here? It's a nice place for these sophomore studs to test out new things and to just try to be a little bit more comfortable holding the ball and establishing not even establishing, but just like kind of trying to generate on their own, almost as a guard, like we saw with Jabari. So summer league basketball, these guys had 3 practices together before they're stepping out on the court. I think the Rockets look really good, and the Pistons were just no match for them the whole game up until the end. We had 13 turnovers tonight, very similar to the first game. Is there a way we can see scoring by quarter? I mean, it wasn't necessarily the blowout territory, but it was like, oh, sheesh, man, like we're like about to blow these guys out. We had like a 20-ish point lead heading into halftime. Just a couple. What's up, Miri? Got a couple levels above summer league. Wouldn't be shocked if we're top 10 in transition points. These guys love to run it. They love to gun it. And, we're missing our key piece in there in Jalen Green. So Yeah, man, transition's everything. And transition defense, having guys like Jabari and Tari are just as valuable on the other side of things. I think Jabari has a breakout season. It really wouldn't shock me in the slightest just because Freddie is the point guard. And, also considering Jabari was the third pick last year, he was pretty much projected to be the first pick for the entire summer. And then, on draft night, the Magic kind of switched things up. The betting odds changed and they go with Paolo. And then, OKC goes with Chet at pick number 2. And Jabari feels like kind of just fell onto our lap. He had a really solid couple of games in his first half of the season. And then the second half of the season, we really saw it get a lot more efficient. We saw better statistics. We just saw it better with the eyes, kind of acclimating into being in the NBA and playing in the NBA. It was very reminiscent to me of Jalen Green's rookie season. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jabari next year is, a breakout year. Might be a little bit difficult with all the mouths to feed on our roster, but I wouldn't be surprised if if Jabari averages somewhere between, my guess would probably be, if I was being realistic, I'd probably go between 13 to 18, but I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if he throws us 15 to 20 next season. That would be a little bit more optimistic. There's just a lot of scorers on our team. There's a lot of guys who are going to take a lot of shots, specifically some of the new cats coming on. So Jabari's definitely going to have some nice games next season, though. Moving downward, there's not really too much to talk about. Trevor Hudgens looked solid tonight. Darius Days loves to shoot for days. Some of the shots he takes are hilarious and they go in. I mean, he did a solid game. So we did see a little bit more depth tonight, especially with Amin Thompson being out. But Jermaine Samuels playing 17, Jay Huff playing 15, a little less than the last game. Trevor Hudgens playing 30 in wake of Amin Thompson's absence. Nate Hinton played 25 minutes, Darius Days 15. So we did see a lot of the younger or the deeper guys see a little bit more run tonight. But for the most part, you saw at least one of Jabari, Tari, and Cam out there on the court at all times. But, obviously, outside of Jabari and Tari, the big guy tonight was Cam Whitmore. He started it off, Jay Huff, with a nice tip, led right into a beautiful dunk to Cam Whitmore like 5 seconds into the basketball game. And then you saw it on the second possession, Cam Whitmore throws it down again. A couple possessions later, he knocks down a deep three. He had a couple of deep threes tonight. End of the day, man, he finishes with 21 points. Not too many rebounds, just one rebound. Not too many supporting statistics, I should say. Just one rebound, 2 assists, and a steal. He went 3 of 7 from downtown for 43%, 9 of 16 from the field for 56%, which is nice because we saw him take a lot of shots in his first summer league game on Friday night, which is exactly what you want him to do. But I think Cam was a lot smarter tonight. I think, force is the wrong. It's not like I don't even want to say he was necessarily forcing some shots in the first game. I guess there were some forced, but you could say that about probably every player who's played so far. Sometimes you get a little shot happy or trigger happy because you're feeling it or you haven't had the ball in a couple of possessions. But Cam Whitmore looked great tonight. We saw him. I tweeted it out. Getting his hand, grabbing some goodies out of Ozar Thompson's goodie bag. That was in the first quarter. I mean, Cam Whitmore came out in the first quarter blazing. It was him and Jabari just pretty much feasting. But we saw a lot of nice things from Cam defensively. We saw a couple of mistakes, but you see these mistakes with all of these players. Tari Eason had 5 turnovers. Jabari had a couple of turnovers as well. But, I guess Cam only finished with 1 turnovers, but there were, a couple of passes or a couple of decisions where I was like, oof, that's not, he knows it too, but oh, it's not, it's just the second summer league game. It's going to happen, right? Only 1 turnover is nice, though. So Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., that was our show tonight. That was the show that we tune in for every summer league game that we're hoping for. Obviously, it would be, no one would complain if Trevor Hudgens dropped like 32 tonight. That would be cool. But, the main emphasis right now with Amin Thompson being out are these 3 players. And I have a feeling, Jabari probably won't play all 4 games. Maybe Tari does play all 4 games because he's not a projected starter. Honestly, it even depends on who you ask. Some people don't have Jabari starting, but usually if you don't have Jabari starting, it's because you have Tari starting. So we'll probably see at least one more game from Tari Eason. I don't think we see another game from Jabari, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I would love to see Cam Whitmore honestly kind of be that, not the main point guard, but I'd like to see him with the ball a lot more. Bringing the ball up the court and just kind of seeing what he can do. But good game from Cam Whitmore, man. Good game from all of our young cats that we're following right now. No Şengün, no Jalen Green, obviously. A couple other guys, no KPJ clearly, but really excited. Yeah, Mary, I got the I watched a little bit while I was eating my pizza, but I've got the Spurs and Blazers game recording for the night. What sucks is if you have League Pass, even you can't watch the ESPN and ESPN2 Summer League game rewinds because they're like nationally broadcasted or whatever. If Amin Thompson was healthy, this game probably could have gotten a lot more out of control. And I think Jalen Johnson brings a good point here. These guys are just playing with a lot more control. I don't know who Jalen was talking about specifically, but going with that Cam Whitmore, I think that would be a good way to describe Cam Whitmore tonight. A lot more in control. Lot less sloppy. Kodak Cam. Defense taking huge steps. It's crazy, man, how Tari Eason is just already, plus positive defender last season in his rookie year and just, paired up with defensive averages across the league. Tari Eason was a good defender. And, with the eye test, certainly says similar things about Jabari Smith Jr. But, Tari is just so smart. I've loved Jabari defensively these last 2 games. I really liked it tonight. Once again, to go back to what I was saying at the beginning of the show was you're playing 2 bigs in Jalen Duren and James Wiseman. Jay Huff was in the starting lineup, but just like the first night, we didn't see 20 minutes of Jay Huff. We only saw 15 minutes of Jay. So, usually the biggest Rocket player out there is Jabari. And there are plenty of times where James Wiseman and Duren are both out there. Azar's also long and lanky, and he's going to get some rebounds, but Tari Eason's going to get a ton of rebounds next season. Jabari had 7 rebounds average last season too. So, once we get LP out there, I'm not too concerned about the offensive rebounds, but that was something. Wemby's 4 or 5. If he's 4 or 5, listen, what's up, Mike Rose? 3 blocks and 6 boards in the first quarter. Sheesh. Who are they playing again? They're playing Portland. They're playing Scoot Henderson. Yeah, man. Enjoy while it lasts because I have a feeling after tonight, Summer League's not going to be as interesting. It's going to be a lot more niched down. A lot more watching your teams. Obviously, us Rocket fans are going to be paying attention to the Rockets, but if they were to shut down Vic after 2 or Miller after 2 or Scoot after 2, it just gets a lot more niched, right? Because Scoot's injured, so Scoot's not even playing right now. So imagine if Vic wasn't playing tonight, it'd be like, well, shit, it's getting a little deeper into the Spurs and Blazers roster, which is still fun to watch. It always happens by the end of Summer League when so many of the more enticing younger players, second-year players especially, most second-year studs or projected studs or potential studs aren't playing at the end. It does depend on the team a little bit, but I would imagine Shaden's playing right now. I don't know if Shaden will finish it out for Portland. You guys get the point I'm going at here. Hopefully he'll come down to Houston for a game. Yeah, for sure, man. I got a couple of buddies living down there. Swaggy lives down there now. Definitely want to pull up. I was at that Houston Rockets home opener with my boy Jorge and met some cool guys like HB. But, yeah, man, haven't been to Houston since then. And I want to say that was late October because it was the start of the season. So, yeah, it's been a while. Blazers are leading by 10 points. Damn. All right. All right. Do we have? Is this the score right now? 16-29. Damn, San Antonio can't score at all. I think Houston had the most points scored of Summer League thus far tonight, right at 113. A quadruple header on ESPN too. We got New Orleans versus Golden State after this. I probably will not be watching that tonight. Probably be watching it tomorrow. I don't really like. I hate working on something. It's not really working, but like Sunday to me, man, is like a big recharge day. So I might not even get to that Spurs game tonight. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, I've been ranting. I'll probably go on a biggest rant tomorrow on my NBA show about how so many people want Victor Wembanyama to be a bust. It just doesn't get me excited about NBA discourse. Guys, hit that like button. We got 26 lovely people spending their Sunday nights in here. Let's try and get more, right? And the like goes a long way. Once again, these are always available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. We get a couple listens every episode, man. I'm super excited about this pod, I'm telling you. Yeah, Wemby's going to be fine. All right, point guard. Do you think Jalen Green will become an all-star this season? No. I mean, it's more of like I have a pretty comfortable stance on Jalen Green improvements this season. Considering all the talent we have on our team, like statistics, I don't think you're going to go crazy high. For me, Jalen Green not being an all-star comes down to, even outside efficiency, just being in the Western Conference and being a guard in the Western Conference. I mean, the West specifically is extremely loaded with talent, especially the guard position. I mean, the guard position is just absolutely fucking loaded. It's crazy. Jalen Green, like 22s, 4-4. Even if those numbers weren't, Jalen Green last year shot 41.6 from the field, not great. 33.8% from downtown. He's taken a lot of shots though, but it's not the most efficient of basketball. So, like, even just for hypothetical sake, let's just say the percentages were changed. Well, 22, 4-4 is not going to get it done. But once again, theoretically, if the statistics were changed to a better efficiency, well, you'll see an increase in stats. So, or output, like, we'd probably see, 25. I think like a great season from Jalen Green next season would be 25. Any point total that started with, honestly, 22, even though he averaged 22 this last year, like 25 would be crazy. 25 would get me thinking to myself, damn, maybe Jalen Green is a star player. One thing we really saw with the Rockets last season was how often, if Jalen Green played good, usually the Rockets won the game. If Jalen Green didn't play good, usually the Rockets lost the game. I don't think Jalen Green will be an all-star next season. Just that, it's third year, but we need to see some significant output here. He might even have a better chance at getting that assist number up. And to be honest, I would imagine his rebounding and assist number will be up next season, especially his assist number. Point total, I think I'll hover around the same, which is still good, man. 22 point per game score in his in his sophomore campaign. Like, you're going to take that. Jalen Green, rookie season, 17.3 points. Took less shots. Took 4 less shots. How many shots is Jalen Green taking next season? How many shots did Anthony Edwards take this past season? Just as a guy to have, I guess 20. So the shot attempt number is going to be important for predicting Jalen Green's scoring next season. Wow, Chris, I like it. Chris saying Jabari will be an all-star next year. I mean, if Jabari averages Jabari got his point totals up to 20, and he's getting you 7 to 8 rebounds a night. And he got that block number up to, like, say, 2. What was Jabari's exact blocks last season? It's not out of the realm. I would probably actually say Jabari is probably a better chance to me at being an all-star than Jalen Green next year, just because of the positions. All right, Jabari took 11 shots a game, shot 41%, 31% from downtown. That number is going to be so improved next season. 7.2 rebounds. You'll love to see it. 0.9 blocks. All right. Nothing crazy there. I bought the newspaper today. Obviously, it's Sunday. I always got to buy the newspaper. And I did see Houston's weather was hotter than here, which was surprising to me. It's so fucking hot in Florida, man. It's so fucking hot. It's crazy how fucking hot it is here. Hey, what's up, Jared? My man. Got met down in Houston for the home opener. Just got on watching from the beginning. Now these two kids are special. Yeah. If you guys follow the let me go on to it just in case we got anybody here who would be interested in it. I tweeted like pretty much every cool bucket from the Rockets tonight in the first half, and then I realized heading into the second half, I was like, oh, this isn't really doing anything. Let's go to profile here. But if you guys want to follow the Let's Talk Rockets podcast, go do it. I'm posting a ton of Rockets content on it, like probably too much. This face was funny to me. Ime Udoka's first face. Look at this. Look at this Cam Whitmore deep three. I mean, that's a deep three, man. I got a ton on here. Jabari to Tari. Or Tari to Jabari. This was a nice, smart basketball play for Cam Whitmore. Ooh, it's not working. Ooh. A guy who was initially guarding me switches on to J Huff. I got some separation on Mr. Wiseman. Wiseman can't guard me. I'm going to pull up mid-range. Cam Whitmore, second quarter, early on. 2 double coverage in between 2 bodies. Kind of like in between one body and over the other. Czar Thompson. Nice play from Cam there. It was mainly Cam Whitmore clips. This is just a nice bucket from Jabari, adding tricks to the baggie. Look at that. Get that on repeat. Ooh, nice. Jabari, crafty and one with the touch. Here's Cam's first 3 from way downtown. Here's Cam Whitmore grabbing some goodies out of Azar's bag. Nice little defensive intensity. Look at that. Give me that. Cookies. Nom, 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 nom. This was the second play of the game. Jabari to Cam Whitmore on the back cut. Bang. Dunk. Throw home. Here's the opening possession. When Cam initially did that, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, shit. Like, I hope he knows that's the right. I hope if he knows that's the right. I wasn't paying attention to where our players were situated. It all happened so fast. If you think Houston is hot, it's nothing compared to South Texas. Let me see. Let me pull up the world map here. Map of USA, because I need to get the equator going. Because I believe where I am is past the southern. Oh, I'm not past the southern tip. I'm Southwest Florida, so I'm pretty much South Houston as far as the equator goes. Yeah, Houston's a little north of me. It's like an 18-hour drive from me to Houston because you have to go all the way around the water. Humidity, man. That's what gets you. All right, that's really it for today, man. Tonight, it's about 9 o'clock here. Also, hate Eastern Standard Time. I don't hate it, but it's just Central Standard Time is probably the best time zone out there. If anybody was curious, well, I'm pretty sure Houston Central Standard Time. I mean, dude, we got let me pull up this Summer League schedule. We got tonight. mean, that Warriors game starting at 10 o'clock, dude. It'll be done at midnight. That's not too bad, but fuck shit, that's late, man. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in to Let's Talk Rockets episode number 34. We had a great showing here tonight. Live chat, booming chat here. I was thinking about doing, I don't know if we're quite there yet, because I only get like 3 to 5 plays on these podcast episodes. I was thinking about recording a podcast tomorrow on some take I've been building with the Rockets and then posting it as a video on here, but it would be out on podcast forums first. And that'll happen eventually. So go down below, click down below. Spotify, if you're a Spotify listener, we got the link there. Apple listener, if you're there, throw that up, throw it on the following feed. But that's it for today, man. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Live on Houston Rockets Daily. As always, I'm Jackson, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.